Okay, so let's set the scene. You've got the mighty king Ravana, ruler of Lanka, storming back into his court. But he's not walking in with his head held high. No, he has just been humiliated in battle by Rama and his army, and you can just feel the tension, the fear, and the failure hanging in the air.
And in this moment of pure rage and desperation, he bellows one single command at his ministers, who are probably trembling in their boots. Now, this isn't just some casual order. This is Ravana pushing the big red button. This is him unleashing his final, most terrifying weapon. This is the moment the whole war pivots.
You gotta understand, calling on Kumbhakarna was not plan A, or B, or probably even C. This is Ravana basically admitting out loud that his best generals are gone, his greatest strategies have failed, and he is completely out of options. He's been pushed to the brink, and this is his absolute last resort.
So that begs the question, right? If you've got this incredible giant warrior on your side, why wasn't he out on the front lines from the very beginning? Well, it turns out waking Kumbhakarna wasn't as simple as, knocking on his door. There was a very, very big problem. See, the giant was living under a curse, one that plunged him into this incredibly deep, unshakable sleep that went on for 6 solid months at a time. And if you were brave enough or foolish enough to try and wake him up before his time, well, you were signing up for a mission that was next to impossible. So, how in the world do you actually wake up a being of this size from a magical coma? The kingdom of Lanka was about to find out, and the effort they put in was, to put it mildly, legendary. I mean, the scale of this whole operation was just mind-boggling. First, they had thousands of demons beating these enormous drums right beside his ears. When that did absolutely nothing, they started literally rolling boulders into his side. Then they lit massive fires near him, all while screaming war chants. It was a complete and total assault on the senses. And after all of that, all the noise, the fire, the chaos, something finally gave. You can almost imagine the ground itself groaning as this immense being slowly began to wake up.
And his first words? They aren't some terrifying battle cry. No, it's a groggy, annoyed complaint. It's like the universe's biggest yawn. He isn't some monster chomping at the bit for a fight. He's just a guy who is having a really good nap and is seriously ticked off that he's been disturbed.
So, the physical challenge of waking him up is over. But now, the story pivots to something way more difficult, a moral showdown between two brothers.
Ravana, he doesn't waste any time. He lays it all out plain and simple. He tells his brother, okay, here's the deal. I kidnapped a woman named Sita. Now her husband, Rama, has brought an army to our front door, and all my best warriors, they're dead. It's just a raw, desperate summary of how bad things have gotten.
And Kumbhakarna's reaction is wow. It's just stunning. He doesn't ask about battle plans or enemy weaknesses. His response is immediate, and it's all about morality. He cuts right through all the excuses and calls out his own brother, the king, on the fundamental injustice that kicked this whole war off in the first place.
Ravana is absolutely furious. He didn't go through all that trouble for a lecture, he did it to get a weapon. So he just completely sidesteps the moral argument and hits him with something else entirely. Duty. The duty to fight for their kingdom, for their home.
And this, right here, this is the heart of the whole conflict. On one side, you have Kumbhakarna, laser-focused on what is right versus what is wrong. And on the other, you have Ravana, who's demanding loyalty and duty above all else. It's that classic, timeless struggle, isn't it? Your personal conscience versus your family duty. And then, Kumbhakarna makes his choice. He agrees to fight, but he makes it crystal clear that he is doing this out of love and duty for his brother, not because he believes in the cause one bit. He's going to be a warrior for Lanka, even as he despises the actions of its king. With that one heavy, reluctant decision, the entire war is about to change forever. The battlefield is about to meet a force of nature that it is completely, utterly unprepared for. As he started to march, the very earth began to tremble. Every single step he took was like a small earthquake, announcing his arrival long before anyone could actually see him. And remember, he was woken up early. His body wasn't ready, he was ravenous, completely depleted, which just adds this extra layer of primal, desperate energy to his power. That grogginess from being woken up, it never really went away. He's this reluctant tide of destruction who's probably still half dreaming of his peaceful slumber.
And honestly, that makes him both terrifying and kind of tragic.
But here's the thing. None of that actually mattered. Hungry, sleepy, morally conflicted, he was still an absolute avalanche of a warrior, a living, breathing mountain of muscle and might that simply could not be stopped.
Can you just imagine the sheer terror rippling through Rama's army? The Vanara soldiers look up and their blood just runs cold. They've fought all sorts of demons and warriors, but they have never seen anything like this. A being so colossal he literally blocks out the sun.
And it's Hanuman who whispers his name, giving a title to this new horror. And it's not just a name, it's a perfect description. He is, quite literally, a walking mountain of strength. And now, he's the enemy.
So, Ravana has played his final, most powerful card. But the huge question still hangs in the air. Is the strength of one person, no matter how immense, really enough to turn the tide of a war that was started on a foundation of injustice? Can one man, even a giant, save a kingdom that's already rotting from the inside out?